than gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never paid retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connect.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
368!
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And right away, he lost the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. Open space inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now, that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run. It's Drake. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On 1st and goal, Drake able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there. In this game, so far, he's been denied.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Second down, Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep is Carlos Henderson. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, Drake. Room here to run. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Second and 10. Dalton once more. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's taken down inside the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
To throw on 2nd down. Dalton. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball goes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with Drake. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here come the Dolphins. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now a handoff for Drake. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Ryan Glasgow getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense. Get the ball back.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now it's counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll set up to throw. Keeps himself upright. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Dalton. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Dalton here from the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit!
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This will be taken at the 10. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Underneath, this is Bernard. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Second and 9 now from the 21. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Fighting through pressure. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
The Dolphins on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is Connor. They find some open field here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
Milage. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Connor. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton going up top. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way down to the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Dalton, 1st and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. The first down throw coming for Dalton. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So the deficit now 3 after the huge conversion, but they need to get the football back.
So this is where special teams really comes into play, because getting the ball back, it starts with this next kickoff. How do they get downfield? Either jar it loose or get the ball back themselves. That's going to be key for them.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. The drive will start with Connor. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run here with Balazs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll return it from the 6. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He's back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Back to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a third down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
On third down, Nixon. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. It's do or die for Dalton. Now a desperation. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the